Today on Monkey Life. Can new woolly monkey mum Ayla be persuaded to accept her newborn baby?
Good girl. Excellent. Oh.
Chimp Jestah gets a health check.
He's an older chimp, and he might just be changing, as you'd expect an older chimp to change.
And golden-cheeked gibbons Peanut and Pung Yo enjoy a seasonal treat. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
We've really done everything we can to make her journey as smooth as possible.
The park provides a home for more than 250 monkeys and apes from 20 different species. It's been 24 hours since woolly monkey Ayla gave birth to her first offspring. Unfortunately, she rejected the new baby boy, leaving him on the floor of the playroom where he was found by the care team. They kept him warm and topped up with fluids.
Are you gonna wake up with your eyes open? Hello, man. Oh.
Alison, who has plenty of experience looking after rejected baby woolies, took him home. After a night of feeds and nappy changing, the new infant is doing well enough for the team to try and convince Ayla to accept him. They're going to reintroduce mum and baby in the hope that Ayla's maternal instincts will kick in and she'll scoop him up.
To be quite honest, I don't think she's going to, and I don't... It's tragic. I could magic anything, wiggle my nose and make it happen. It would be for Ayla to take him back. For her sake as well as his. So it's not ideal. It's not ideal for him or for her.
The team have prepared one of the bedrooms in the woolly house, covering the floor with a thick layer of straw.
Okay?
Yes.
The plan is to put the baby into the room and, once he's settled, let Ayla in. The hope is she'll understand what to do.
All yours, my friend.
The rest of the woolly family have been given outside access, while Ayla has been separated in an adjoining bedroom. Emily carefully places the baby woolly on a bed of straw on the floor, so if Ayla picks him up, there's a soft floor beneath.
Okay.
Ready?
I guess.
With the infant calm and settled, Ayla slowly makes her way in.
Good girl.
But instead of going to the tiny bundle on the ground, she stays up on the platform. Alison tries to tempt her down with some grapes.
And then come down here. Come on. Good girl. Excellent. Oh.
Eventually, Ayla reaches out. But not for her baby. She's more interested in the treats on offer and ignores the infant crying out for mum. Then, without a backward glance, she heads back to the bedroom next door.
Didn't go that well. I mean, there was nothing negative, no aggression or anything like that. She kind of looked around. We did dot a few bits of food kind of near the baby just to encourage her to go down to that area. But to be honest, I think her interest was solely just about the food and the extra treats that we'd put in there.
But there is one final hope for the new arrival. The group has a fantastic mum, Zingu. She's successfully raised two little ones, the youngest being Olivia, who, at just 1 year old, is still being fed by her mother. The team have decided to introduce the newborn baby to Zingu. They hope she'll show enough interest to scoop him up and become a surrogate mum.
Okay, here we go.
Zingu comes straight in, followed by little Olivia. Both are immediately attracted by the sight and sounds of the tiny woolly on the floor. For a moment, things look hopeful. But Zingu and Olivia are simply checking out the food and start foraging. Olivia's curiosity eventually gets the better of her, and she goes in for a closer look at the baby. But she soon rejoins her mum in the next-door bedroom. The team have exhausted all possibilities of settling the baby in the group. There's only one option left.
Now it comes down to us really for the next few months. Take the little man on, obviously rear him, make sure he's healthy and happy as he grows up, and then slowly and gradually we'll start doing some introductions with the house that we're going to introduce him into. And yeah, just take it day by day really.
So for the next few months, this little Woolly's future is in the hands of the care team. He'll grow and develop with their help before being reintroduced to his woolly family when the time is right. Fortunately for this new arrival, it's something the staff have lots of experience of.
Boy, it's 2 mils. You know,
This is the 5th woolly monkey the team have hand-reared in recent years.
that's 1 mil.
And they've all had a share in the work, including Mike, who is part of the care team for baby number 3, Diego. All the youngsters are bottle-fed milk until old enough to be introduced to solids.
Look at that. How's about that?
Baby number 4, Bueno Jr., is a great example of how the care team can step in to give abandoned youngsters a great start in life. He was delivered by emergency C-section following his mum Sarah's difficult labour. After his ordeal, Alison had to use some vigorous stimulation to get the newborn breathing properly for himself. Bueno Jr. then took up her full attention, with Alison taking him home for weeks of feeds and nappy changing.
Good little man.
The care team took it in turns to help out. 4 years on, Bueno Jr. has grown into a handsome young man and is flourishing.
He's fitted into the group really well. He has really good relationships with the other individuals in there, so his socialisation skills have come on leaps and bounds. And he's just one of the group. He's a loving individual. He's quite comical. He's a bit of a joker and a silly monkey, so he loves nothing more than having a giggle and a play. But he's just slotted into the group really well, and we couldn't be happier with how he's progressed.
And despite being reared by the care team, Bueno Jr. has fitted in well with young males his age, who grew up with their own woolly parents.
The other young lads in the group, Manny and Enzo, they clearly get on as well because they're kind of on the same wavelength. So, you know, they're all here to have a good time and have a good play. Junior's kind of, you know, a great example of getting them back in with the group really early, and he has just become another woolly monkey. So we're really pleased with how he's developed, and we couldn't be happier.
Little boy for sure.
The signs are good that all the team's experience will give their 5th baby woolly monkey the best possible chance at becoming part of a woolly group.
It's that kind of nerve-wracking time where we want to make sure that we take everything nice and slowly with him and we just do everything right. But we have done it before, and just seeing how Bueno Jr. has turned out and how well he is doing now in the group does fill us with more confidence that hopefully this one's going to go as well and we're going to get it right again.
At the Stumpy house, it's been a few weeks since new arrivals Toto and Freddy were introduced to the 8 other grumpy monkeys. And now they're living as one, almost harmonious group.
Things have settled down quite nicely at the Stumpy house. These guys are quite grumpy, they're quite feisty, bringing new boys in, especially when these guys have been together for so long, so their alliances are really solid. We knew we were going to get some fights and some scuffles, but it's been quite sort of nice how quickly the fighting settled down. And although we do still have, you know, bouts of shouting at each other, that's kind of Stumpy's anyway, we're not quite at a fully functional, you know, everybody getting along group yet, but we're definitely taking some steps towards that.
With the warmer weather, the Stumpies have got 24-hour access outside. If things do get out of hand, the individuals have an escape route until things calm down. Today, the group are going to be given a healthy treat, fresh herbs, to stimulate their taste buds and their sense of smell.
They have had some herbs in the past, but there's a real sort of selection of smells. They sort of smell quite strong. So I'm hoping that they're going to be really interested in them. Obviously, they're all edible as well, so something for them to nibble on. Because it is just herbs, you know, it's not high calorie, so it's a nice sort of low-cal snack for these guys. But we'll see how much interest that they show. Noreen, Sam, Kelly!
Fresh herbs are rarely on the menu, and the Stumpies are curious. There's plenty of interest, touching and smelling, but not much in the way of eating. Although top girl Kelly has taken a liking to a clump of basil. Charlie, on the other hand, displays a preference for parsley. While new boy Freddie is tempted by fresh chives. But Toto doesn't seem overly impressed with the coriander. Toto's a magnificent-looking macaque and could possibly be younger than the other boys in the group, which includes leader Sam, long-term housemate Jonathan, and Freddie, who arrived with Toto from Belgium. With age and looks on his side, the team expected him to become top dog.
We thought Toto might just sort of steamroll in and kind of take over the group. It's not really happened that way. Unfortunately for Toto, he has all of the brawn but none of the brains. He's not really got the sort of social know-how to go around making friends with the females and try and get some allies and kind of play it sensibly. So for the moment, it is still Sam that's kind of holding on to the group brains.
The fresh herbs have been both a hit and a miss. But whether they like them or not, the enrichment did at least get the Stumpies active and using their minds.
When you try new things with these guys, you never know if they're going to be really excited or if they're not going to be too bothered, but it's always important to give them sort of new stuff to have a look at. And it has brought people out and about to have a look, if nothing else. Not quite the excitement and the big foraging frenzy that I'd perhaps hoped for, but it's kind of what you get with Stumpies.
At the bachelor chimp enclosure, staff have become worried about Jestah. In the last few weeks, he seems to have lost weight and is drinking excessive amounts of water. They've asked vets John Lewis and Dave Harding to come in and check him over.
He's an older chimp, and he might just be changing as you'd expect an older chimp to change. But there are concerns about some aspects of his health, so we're going to have him down, take blood samples, good clinical examination, do some ultrasound, etc., and try and get a comprehensive idea of his health status.
Jestah is 35 years old, getting on for a chimp, and came to the park in 1992 along with 8 others from Windsor Safari Park. Although he's a fit-looking chimp, he suffers badly from a skin complaint and has regular medication to treat the condition. But the team have other concerns too.
He's had a lot of sugar in his urine, but that may or may not be an indication of diabetes. Now, there are other things which put sugar in the urine, including some medications he's been on. So we're hoping to put a lot of concerns to bed, to be honest, but we'll see.
All the apes at the park have been trained to take injections from one of the primate care staff. Cara gives Jestah his anaesthetic, and then it's a case of waiting for the drug to take effect. It doesn't take long. Jestah is quickly loaded into a secure travel crate for the short journey to the park's hospital. As soon as Jestah is delivered safely to the hospital, the team take the opportunity to weigh him.
67.5. 67.5.
Once Jestah is on the table, John works quickly.
You have to watch out very carefully for salivation, because they do a lot of that, and let's get the bloods.
He takes blood samples so Jestah's kidney and liver functions can be checked, and also to rule out any sign of diabetes.
Keep them all moving, we won't get microclots in there. Right. Sorry.
With the bloods done, John can give Jestah a more general health check.
We're looking really for basically wear and tear. Now, whether that's wear and tear on heart or kidneys or liver or whatever, that's really what we are looking for. Yeah, things wear out. He's not an emaciated chimp.
No.
By any means whatsoever.
Once John is happy, Dave moves in to perform an ultrasound.
Yeah, are we okay to dim the lights a little bit now?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Nothing obviously wrong at this stage. That's the liver there, which looks pretty normal. Limited findings on the ultrasound, everything looks pretty normal in there, mainly looking at the liver and the kidneys, really, given the symptoms. And they look absolutely, as I would expect, normal size, shape. And there's no other abnormalities looking around in there as well, so happy with that.
All the checks have been done, and so far, John is pleased.
He's a good-looking chimp. For his age, he's in good condition. But until we get the results of the blood sample, I wouldn't hazard any further guesses. But that's when we're going to review his medication, is after all those results are in.
Jestah is returned to one of the bedrooms at the bachelor's house, and when he's fully recovered from the anaesthetic, he can rejoin his pals. And after a few days, it was confirmed all his blood tests were normal. The park's chimpanzees are generally a pretty lively and sometimes argumentative bunch. A recent dispute at Hananya's group resulted in low-ranking Arthur sustaining a small injury to his back.
Hi, Mum.
The wound became infected and the resulting abscess had to be drained by a vet and then kept clean by the care team. Now, some weeks later, Arthur's wound is all healed up, and today, in the intense heat of summer, the group are calm and relaxed. Most are having a nap when staff arrive to give them a treat, ice-cold lollies. Little Thelma is first to sample the ices. And even group leader Hananya decides they're worth getting up for. The lollies are made from water and fruit juice, and on a hot day like today, prove popular. The treat has certainly perked up young Thelma, who's on the lookout for a playmate. Sean, from the care team, has another idea to keep the chimps cool. He's rigged up a hose to spray water into their enclosure. Thelma's not sure yet, but Shamak comes to see what it's all about. A cool water shower is hard to resist, and he dives straight in. And while the others watch, the water spray seems to have brought out Shamak's silly side. He's a very bright and playful chimp, and today, he's just using it for his own enjoyment. The fine mist drifting across the enclosure will also reduce the air temperature, making everyone feel more comfortable. Hananya is spending the day surrounded by his ladies. They all seem to want a bit of his attention. Being close to the alpha male not only keeps harmony in the group, but also bolsters their positions. Simon and Arthur join in the water antics and take the opportunity for a cool drink. But Thelma is enjoying a game of her own. Until, all played out, it's time for a cuddle with Mum. At the golden-cheeked gibbon enclosure, Peanut and Pung Yo are getting a seasonal treat. Abdi from the primate care team has arrived with armfuls of cherry browse, laden with succulent leaves and juicy ripe berries. The browse is mixed in with apple wedges and spread out in baskets and on perches around the enclosure. Some are placed high up in the treetops to encourage the gibbons to feed at height, as they would in the wild. As always, it's female Peanut who's first off the mark. She loves her food, and cherries are a rare treat. Luckily, there are plenty to go round, and her long-term partner Pung Yo manages to get his share today. But he wisely finds his own space to enjoy the fruit before Peanut comes looking for more. Peanut and Pung Yo have been together for 15 years. In the wild, golden cheeks pair for life. They were rescued separately, Peanut from a British bird smuggler and Pung Yo from the black market trade in Taiwan. Once at Monkey World, they were paired and have since had 3 children. All the couple's offspring have now reached sexual maturity and, one by one, have left the family. Feisty Peanut is the dominant partner in their relationship. When treats are on offer, Pung Yo knows Peanut will want first pickings, so he makes way when he sees her coming. But he doesn't go hungry. He's super quick and magnificent in the trees and can easily find more. Peanut, meanwhile, is determined to empty the treetop feeder, and her long limbs and highly flexible joints make it easy for her. As they feed, both gibbons demonstrate wild behaviour by staying up high to enjoy their treat. And today, with so much fruit, both Peanut and Pung Yo are content.